So let's take a look at Stuart Hall's encoding decoding model of communication. And when we look at the encoding decoding model of communication, we'll also take a look at what Stuart Hall actually thought of representation. Representation is something that is constitutive of the event. It constitutes, it's already a part of, this is something that we have to remember. It is constitutive of the event, meaning. Now, how is it that we make meaning? Something is presented to us, so the person who is presenting it, the sender of the message, and the person who is receiving the message, the receiver of the message. So a kind of transaction is going to happen between these two. Now, the transaction which happens is going to be the encoding of the message by the producer, the sender. He's going to encode some meanings, some values to that message. And we as the receivers are going to receive that message, and we are going to decode that message. He's talking of, let's say, visual culture and visual arts and mass media. But messages in general have this thing. There is a meaning encoded and a meaning decoded. We all have certain concepts in our mind. They are mental images. They could be a collection of thoughts. They could be a collection of thoughts, ideas, beliefs. So there is a map which is already there. There is a framework in place. And that framework has absolutely got to be in place. Why? Because we as human beings are born with some things that are innate to us, and other things that we learn from the outside. So that meaning making faculty, which is somehow related to the mind, that is already present in us. Just as we see in linguistics that there is already a biological component and there is also a learned part. So also there is a meaning making faculty. That's a biological thing. But in addition to this, we have certain frameworks in place here, and it is those frameworks which help us to feel a sense of belonging to a culture, to a speech community which speaks the same language, to a way of life that is shared. And so those concepts have to be in place. It is because of those concepts that we are able to look at things outside in the world in certain ways. So those concepts, what do they help us to do? They help us to accept some things. They help us to doubt some things. They help us to reject some things. All this is happening because of the concept that is held in place, the frameworks which are held in place. It is because of them that we are able to speak the same language and we understand what the other person is saying, and we are able to convey something that those people can understand. And so making sense, making meaning depends to a large extent on those frameworks or concepts that are in place. Now this is very, very complex. That genetic or biological component is the same in all. But these frameworks are learned. And because they are learned, there is a variety of these frameworks. When an idea is presented to us, there are ways in which we will receive those ideas or receive that idea, and the way we will receive it depends on that framework which is there in our minds. Now, meanings are made is one thing. Meanings are made, and meanings are also transmitted. How does that happen? Earlier, it used to happen, this give and take of meanings was dependent on social interaction, face-to-face communication. And so because we live in society, we receive a lot of meanings, we give a lot of meanings, and so we are surrounded by meanings and more meanings. But when television culture, mass media, they began to replace this face-to-face communication or this social interaction, then what was happening was that technology was beginning to take the place of human beings. And the danger with technology is that technology can spread those meanings at levels and at a speed and to a degree which we cannot sit here and imagine. We are all familiar with this. You have an idea which you relate to, which you tell someone in a classroom of maybe 100 people. And you put that, let's say, on YouTube. What happens? It just spreads. And it spreads at a speed which you are not able to imagine. So technology was something to beware of. Because meanings, when they are manipulated and then they spread so fast, they can have a damaging effect, because all meanings will now get distorted. Now let's look at what Stuart Hall had to say about this encoding and decoding. He said that the way the message is encoded and the way we decode it, that decoding of the message is dependent on several factors. Your grandmother watching something on TV will decode that message differently from what you will do. So age is a factor. Gender is a factor. Similarly, your status in life is a factor. Your economic class is a factor. The mental state or the emotional state in which you are watching, that is a factor. So there are several factors. There are several others besides these which go to the way we decode the message. Stuart Hall spoke of three things, three ways in which that reading is done. The first is dominant readings. So the producer is encoding the text or the message with a particular value or meaning. Generally, the producer may be the capitalist or the upper class or the privileged or the white or the male or however privileged in some way. He is going to encode that message and he is going to represent things in a particular way. So let's say the central character, the virtuous characters, the heroes, those who need to be, put on a pedestal or treated with respect, they will be presented in a particular way. And there will be ways of presenting the other. Maybe he's the Negro, maybe he's the Oriental, maybe he's something different from the self, the portrayal of the self. Now, we as the audience, we may take a dominant reading, which means we will agree 100% with everything that has been presented. So we as the audience and the producer, we are of one mind. We agree. And so this is a dominant reading. We are also of the same mindset. Now, this is one way of reading, dominant reading. The second way is negotiated readings. Now, there is a college-going girl, and let's bring that grandmother back into that picture, and let's bring this college-going girl's parent, a parent who's trying to, move forward in life and trying to keep pace with that modern young daughter. So now there is an event which you're witnessing, and it's a party, and that party has all the regular things. There is beer and the students and girls and everything else. Now that young girl is absolutely okay with it. So she's doing a dominant reading. Her mother is still struggling and she's trying to, keep pace. But somehow she's neither able to fully reject that nor is she able to fully accept it. So this is a negotiated reading. Negotiated. So negotiated reading would mean that you're not completely okay with what you are seeing or hearing or whatever, however that message you receive, but you're trying to come to terms with it. That is a negotiated reading. And the third is the oppositional reading. There will always be some things which our own code of values will not accept. So now that grandmother looking at that scene, she might do an oppositional reading and she might say, no, this is something that is just not acceptable. So there will be things that will just not be acceptable to us. We outright reject it. That's an oppositional reading. So Stuart Hall spoke of these three kinds of readings.